Hi there, I'm Shane Spiers and welcome to another edition of the Performance Brief where we give you one breakthrough business idea in just 5 minutes. My guest today is Stephen Light. Stephen, a very warm welcome. How are you today?
Shane, very good. Thank you for inviting me on your show. I'm looking forward to sharing some stuff with you.
Great. I'm glad to have you here. For those of you that don't know him, Stephen is a leadership expert and executive coach. He does what he does because he loves people, the human behind the mask, as he puts it, and loves leadership. Assisting people and being who they are in service of leading others brings him huge fulfillment and meaning in his life, and he strives to create a world where people care about others' growth and see the human, not the role. Leadership is one of those aspirational places for people, and yet they do not fully understand it, as he says. His driving principle when working with leaders is get over yourself, it's not about you. He works with leaders, skilling them in leadership approaches, as well as helping them discover what areas of themselves are holding them back from being who they need to and want to be. Brilliant. Stephen, the title of our interview today is Stephen Light on Leadership, and we have 5 minutes for the interview. If you're ready, I'll start the clock.
Yeah, go for it. That sounds great.
Great. So let's start. Why leadership for you?
So Shane, I've been involved in corporates for the past 15 years, 15 plus years, and what I kind of found my way into leadership and just noticing that business has these great objectives they want to achieve, and it happens through people. And what makes people come alive and thrive and actually achieve the results you're looking for is leadership. It's like that kind of the glue, the oil in the engine, the glue that puts things together. And people are not good at it. So why leadership? I just had this natural affiliation with leadership and I understood it and I warmed to people. And so leadership was like a natural universe saying, Stephen, get involved in this. People need it. And I ended up in leadership.
Right. So what is the failing of organisation when it comes to leadership?
So many. To pick one, the themes that come up again and again is dealing with conflict, really poor at that, and communication. Now, if you start breaking those down and looking at it from an individual to individual perspective, communication has got so many facets to it. And so the big failing is that organizations, they put all these trainings in place, they put all these systems in place, but they do not embed the skill. And the biggest failing is investing and trying to make a change, and they're not following up with it and making it part of the culture. For me, that's a waste of time. You're wasting your money. It's got to be a culture change.
Right. And so what one simple principle can change a leadership impact and why? A leader's impact and why?
Well, for me, it starts with that principle that you introduced in my bio, get over yourself. It's not about you. I've seen leaders, people want to become leaders in an organization to get promoted, to get remunerated for that, and to get the accolades of being a leader. And it all comes down to the title. So it's a positional leadership role that they take on, not a servant leadership role. And that simple principle about realizing that get over yourself, it's not about you, leadership's about other people, can change fundamentally the way you see yourself and other people, and that will change your impact. For me, that's like a given with any leader.
And just kind of aside, how do you instigate that? How do you get leaders to change?
Oh, well, that's an inside-out process. You've got to get that awareness. They've got to realize the impact that they are currently having and how that's driving results. And then realizing there's some stuff I need to look at. I need to do my own work. There's a journey I need to go on. And when I start recognizing the areas and my gaps that will help me become this great leader, the journey starts here. And then it shows up out there. The impact happens out there.
Right. What are the common themes you see in organization when it comes to leadership?
Great question. Organizations want results. That's what they're about. They realize it's through people, but it's always about the focus is about results. So what they tend to do is they reward people who get results. And in my experience, the common themes are people who are aggressive, bullying tactics, people who are solely focused on results without the driving of relationships. Those people get promoted. So you have this culture of we want to be a collective. You have these values that are out there, spouse, respect, caring, honesty. You have these values, but they are not lived because it's all about results. That's a common theme I see when it comes to leadership. Get the results.
So, and what one simple skill can you share that can help leaders win people over?
For me, it's about find that human behind the mask. Connect with people. Focus as much on relationships as you do on results. Because if you get that balance right, and it's not about taking your eye off results, if you get that balance right and you drive those relationships and you show people you care about them and you know your people, they will be so focused on driving the results for you. And that's what I found. People come to work in two ways. They come with hands and feet. If you're about results, you get time clock watchers, you get hands and feet stuff. If you're about people and relationships, you get people who come with their hearts and minds. They're inspired. They give you discretionary effort. They'll go above and beyond to deliver your results.
Brilliant. Brilliant. That's great insight, Stephen. People, for more resources from Stephen, check out his website, www.stephenlight.com. Stephen, that's really great insight. Thank you very much for that.
Very welcome, Shane. It's always a pleasure to share stuff like this.